All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2022 ADCC World Championship. This is Ricardo Amendolia, about to kick things off here with my broadcast partner, Mr. Sean Williams. In our first match, Sean, we got the king front and center. Gordon Ryan versus Helki Jusila, European Trials winner. Gordon Ryan sits the guard immediately.
Yeah, it's here now, isn't it? Can you believe it? Beautiful opening ceremony. Here we go.
Here we go.
Starting off with Gordon Ryan here, so just looking at hip heist, get underneath Jusila.
We are live from the Thomas & Mack Arena. Gordon Ryan now with the arm drag to the back of Jusila, over under grips, gets to the back position. Forces Jusila to the turtle. Sean, what's going on here? He's breaking him down.
Yeah, he's got that underhook on the right arm, which I really like from the turtle position because you can drive forward so hard, and it's quite sticky. So he's just pushing that right foot through. So we'll see if he off balances or pulls Jusila back a little bit. But I really like there he's trying to pull him off to the side and break him down over the foot. That's a very good tactic on the turtle.
Gordon Ryan within a minute gets to the top position, gets the arm drag, now on the back, riding out his opponent. There are a lot of questions in this division on how Gordon was going to perform. Is he going to come out aggressive? Is he going to pace himself? But Gordon right now, right from the get-go, in an amazing position. He's got the trap on the far right shoulder, looking to get full back control and going for the submission right away. The king is here, and he's not playing around.
No, he has a power half, really did a good job of not allowing Jusila to bring his head up. And that is the reason why we are where we are right now, is see him put that power half Nelson. It breaks the head down, puts a lot of pressure so that 4-point situation just doesn't happen very, very easily anyway. Looking to put that second hook in. And now he'll look to flatten out Jusila, but probably you got to open up the knees, bulldoze the knees. Right now he's using a power half to try to tilt him. He does. And here comes the back control now. You see Jusila locking the hands together to try to create that sort of wedge inside the arms. Gordon will have to just out pummel that. I'll see if he'll take the left hand through. Yep, peel it down. Now take the right hand, go through the elbow. And he may elect to that sort of classic. He's just going right after the strangle now. So there'll be a little hand fighting. The right hand will come out and push down on the wrist if the left arm gets inside the neck. He's got an anchoring grip with the left hand. It's always what you're trying to do. He'd like to probably have that strangle a little bit lower, but
Jusila doing a good job of defending, but he's got to get out of this position. He's stuck with Gordon on his back. Not somewhere where you want to be, especially with 7 minutes to go. But he's got enough time to get out, but this is a big, advantageous position for Gordon Ryan to be in right from the get-go.
Yeah. There goes the bulldozing of the knees there. Widen the knees, press them back, flatten Jusila out. Here comes exchanging rights to left sides. And you'll just dig in there and change right to left as if that face is down. We could elect to go to Katagatami here if he pummels that left hand all the way through and under.
Jusila trying to defend, trying to just hand fight a little bit, just trying to get Gordon's hands away from his neck, and now trying to move to another position here, but Gordon just calmly riding it out.
And that's what I was going to say. You can see Gordon he puts a pace. It doesn't have to be frantic. It's just a consistent, steady pace of pressure, one attack or a breakdown and then another attack, and that's really where he shines, is he just understands pacing so well, and he's just looking at the clock. Points will begin in about another minute.
Gordon on the back, over under grip, pulling Jusila back now. Body triangle, looks like he's trying to attempt that on the side. There it is. And, that sucks the life out of you. And, remember, we're not in the points period yet, but if he has the body triangle, I believe he has to get back to it after points begin, so he won't automatically get the points. Now switching to contemporary hooks position with the far left hook on the far hip. He's got that Nelson trying to bring his opponent back to the side there, just dominating his Gordon Ryan.
There, Juslo's able to 4 points. So there, that power half. You see how strong that power half is to beat up that 4 point position. It just really wears on your head and your neck. And you know, if your head goes through your legs, you're going to follow. So you can see Gordon, now it's points. Now you'll most likely see him get into a scoring situation here. There it is.
I like what Gordon's doing with his right arm, trapping Juslin's right arm underneath there.
Katagatami. Yeah, Jusula turns into Gordon. There's going to be a Katagatami. If he turns away, he's going to get his back taken.
Now, do you think he's going to go for the Katagatami considering how big his opponent is? Do you think he might want to try to reserve himself and look, as we see that now, he's trying to get like a higher back control. I'm wondering how he's going to finish this match. I'm trying to be the guy that calls it out.
Here it comes right now. He's got the arm isolated. He's walking the hand underneath the chin. This is going to be over short. Yeah. There's that hand fighting I talked about earlier. Pushing down that forearm. There it is.
There it is. Beautiful submission by the king. Gordon Ryan traps the arm with his leg, traps the opposite head, gets the submission. Just tactically, technically beautiful.
Yeah.
Winner, Gordon Ryan.
Together on a stage like this yet. But I got to believe he thinks he can take Cyborg right here.
Yeah, he has a submission finish over Orlando Sanchez, so this weight division is he's no stranger to it. All right, we're underway. Cyborg in the yellow, Rita in the black, and Giraffe.
Hard collar tie right away from Cyborg. Man, he's just like a statue out there. Rita would have given him a little shoulder check, and Cyborg barely budged.
And listen, Cyborg has done so many matches in this rule set. You know, his style plays very well into this rule set.
Look how good his posture is through his upper back and his neck.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, right? With having that hand on the head and moving the head out of position, how exhausting it is. It's hard to break Cyborg's posture. Yeah. Like even to pull his head forward.
And that keeps him from wearing that fatigue in the same way. It's just fun. It's just something so simple and fundamental.
Yeah. At like almost
it's expressed at the very
highest
parts of the sport, you know.
Isom Rita, 2-on-1. Oh, look at this turnaround. Rita taking advantage of it.
Oh, he's going straight for the arm.
Cyborg is fighting.
Cyborg's in big trouble.
So Rita is trying to separate. He's got good control over the head. Now he's trying to separate the hands.
He's going to stretch it out. Isom Rita over Cyborg. With the armbar.
Wow. Isom Rita out of Assembly Jiu-Jitsu. What an upset.
Listen to the Thomas and Max synergy.
It is going crazy. Isom Rita, your winner by armbar. Look at the emotion, B-Mac. B-Mac, look at that emotion. Winner by armbar. Assembly Jiu-Jitsu's Isom Rita will move on to the quarterfinals to take on Roosevelt Souza. Wow. What a match. Isom Rita, your winner by armbar. Here's the replay. He stepped over on that, timed it perfect. Now look.
All right, here we go. Felipe Pena makes his return to ADCC versus Josh Saunders from Australia. As I mentioned before, Pena has been here, has won ADCC. 2017 absolute champion against Josh Saunders. Pena elects to pull guard right away. Josh Saunders trying to pass the guard now. Pena with the nice reverse De La Riva. Pena attacking.
And Pena is so good in these situations right here where you have that. He's got that bear trap situation. He takes the back. Very, very good on these scenarios.
Yeah, he likes to tangle the legs, works to the back, or goes through the leg locks, or attacks the heels. Kind of doubling up on pressure between submission and sweep, or back take.
Yeah, exactly.
Creates dilemmas.
He does, and he's very good at that. Yeah, lives in the chaos a little bit and shines there.
Saunders on top. Josh Saunders was the Asian and Oceania Trials winner from Sydney West, Australia.
That's
nice takedown by Saunders there.
Yeah, Nuchimata cleared Pena out. Well, now Pena's up again. That was a really nice way. He booted away a little bit and then came right up on a very deep, elbow deep double.
Pena's looking sharp.
Yeah, and I think that's the world is excited to see Pena look sharp, I believe, after having a little bit of a rough go a month ago. He's on point. Talked with him earlier today. He's on point.
In shape, focused, prepared Pena is a very, very dangerous competitor.
100%.
And not to mention he's got a lot of experience here at ADCC.
Yeah.
Just in general in jiu-jitsu, you name the rule set, Pena's been there, done that, won it.
Yeah.
Pena now with a nice passing attempt there. Pena's really not afraid to, initiate the wrestling when he can. He's been working a lot. As we mentioned, he actually brought in William Tackett to Brazil recently in preparation for his Gordon Ryan match. Pena now on the bottom. Seated guard, reverse De La Riva. Josh Saunders on top, trying to get the pass. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left at the 2022 ADCC World Championship. Ricardo Amendolia, Sean Williams here bringing you the action once again.
Yeah, now he's got this half. There's a near John Wayne, but the nice thing about that is you use that crowbar, that knee lever to off balance and get an underhook. Saunders punches that underhook in. And Saunders is a big human being as well. He's a very big man. So these are good ways for your body to get good and warmed up, just to be pushing this weight around. Philippe in three-quarter guard here, looking to pummel the left leg back in, but Saunders doing a good job of keeping that knee in the middle. There again is that push into that ankle pick. Points are a minute and a half away still.
Pena on the bottom now. Josh Saunders, 6 minutes, 11 seconds left to go in this match.
Yeah, Saunders got a good left foot placement. I'd like to see a left underhook now and actually pass to his right. Right now he's passing to the direction where Philippe could invert. So if he continues to pass to, I think I meant pass to the right, I might have said left, but if he's passing to the left there with that staple, that's a direction that Pena can just invert and regard with that left hook. Putting good pressure is Saunders, just now trying to get over the knee.
Five minutes, 27 seconds left in this match. Felipe Pena, Josh Saunders, the men's above 99 kilo division here at the 2022 ADCC World Championship. We're getting close to the points period.
Yeah.
And, talking to a lot of ADCC veterans, they always mention to me that once the referees calls points, the atmosphere changes, their strategy changes, the techniques change.
Yeah.
So there it is. Points are in play now. So it'll be interesting to see what Pena does to change things up here, or if he's just going to continue to attack like he's been doing pretty effectively. But
yeah. And that's the thing you were talking about earlier, is tactics plays a large role here. And not only does it play a large role when points happen, like the athletes like to get themselves in a position to score when scoring happens. Now, Philippe, very good in 50-50, pulls himself to the top. He's got to watch the legs positions here, though.
Just going to say that. He's been, if you watch the Gordon Ryan match, he was sucking him up in 50-50 every time he could.
You're right.
But in ADCC, you know, these guys are going to be looking to break a leg here. Penna's got to be careful once he gets up on top. Doing a great job of putting his right foot on the mat to prevent any sort of misplacement of that leg. Staying on top, putting pressure on the 50-50, which is a smart strategy. But I think he's got to start opening those legs, though.
Yeah, it's good for him to keep the legs well past the hip so that Saunders can't bring those feet back into the hip to try to reset. But you see how he did a good job, Saunders, opening that right knee there. You can see Philippe pulling the knee back aside. That keeps his hips in, and yeah, he can keep trying to get his knee to the mat and smash. But Saunders opening that right knee of his creates that barrier between he and Philippe and can keep some space.
Penna now.
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer. You can really see him start to get close. Yeah, now he's in. If he gets these double underhooks, it's...
Yeah, Penna in a great passing position. If he can free that right leg of his opponent, he's in optimal position to take the back as well, which is, you know, one of the biggest techniques we've seen Penna do. If you attack him with the leg, he'll get to your back.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to submit him, which not many people have done. So there it is. Penna's leg near free, his knees out. It's on the mat. He should be able to get to the back at some point, but they're nearing the edge. Yeah, there we go. Restart probably going to happen. ADCC referees freezing the action, I believe. Yeah, so we should be restarting here in a sec.
And again, you can see that's a veteran because he didn't try to burst to the back right there. He waited for the ref to stop them, move them back to the center. Because if he would have burst to try to take the back, they might have been to the feet right now.
Absolutely.
You know, they were by the edge. So Philippe doing a good job of keeping the head up the middle. You want to keep the head up the middle. He's going to have to break this wrist down, that posted arm. He should reach out there with his right hand, pull the wrist underneath, and then break him down. Although Saunders fell down to the side himself, which is better off with that elbow post up like that.
Penna up 2-0, 2:44 in a great passing position. Much like Gordon Ryan we were talking about earlier, Penna's pacing is really good. He's not going crazy here. He knows he's in a passing position. Slowly but surely, Felipe Penna style, he's going to get to an optimal position to score and possibly submit. There it is, knee inside between the arm and the legs. Now going to the back, over under grip. Beautiful job by Felipe Penna, taking the back there, standing, triangling the inside leg there.
You might see Philippe drop. Yeah, I was going to say, you might see him just drop down and try to sag down. There he did. Saunders down with the underhooks there.
Just kind of pulling all that weight off the hips, bringing the hips back down to the mat. Saunders now in a turtle position, trying to defend with 2 minutes left. Down 2-0. Felipe Penna, great position, using some similar gripping that we saw Gordon Ryan doing earlier today.
That's right. That power half is a game changer when you got a hook in that really breaks someone down. Beautiful technique by Philippe to take the back here.
As I said, an in-shape, focused Felipe Penna is a dangerous, dangerous man.
One minute left. Philippe just walking over to the mount, using this left near underhook, driving the head up the middle. There's that wrist. You can break that wrist down again. Saunders might elect to try to hip heist up to turtle here. There's a battle of this right arm of Saunders. Like Philippe is doing the right thing by staying under that elbow.
Yeah.
And that's a huge battle there. That's a small battle, but it's a big one.
Penna up 8-0 now, racking up the points. 52 seconds left to go. Penna staying in that comfortable, it's like this little pocket. Not too far, not too close, but tons of pressure.
Yeah, you're right. And he could just easily try to ride this out, keep that left arm in good position, keep his left leg in good position.
Penna's getting a warning there for passivity. .20 seconds left. Josh trying to Kimura from the half guard there. Penna seeing it, 10 seconds left. He's constantly getting warnings from the referee, but 4 seconds left. I think it's safe to say Felipe Penna wins his opening round matchup here at the 2022 ADCC World Championship. Beautiful display of technique by Felipe Pena.
Again, 10 minutes, first 5 minutes, there will be no points. Second 5 minutes, points are a go. All right, BMAC, we are underway.
Here we go.
Now, I mean, Nicky Rod's been able to use his, in the first one was able to use, he's inexperienced, so he was able to use his speed and strength and, agility to get through some tough matches, against Ali, against Cyborg, against Orlando, before falling to Duarte in the finals.
Nicky Rod heavy on this tie, but Ramos is not going to just come out here and get pushed around.
Yeah.
He snapped back. Oh, here's an arm drag, looking for the single. Nicky Rod just so explosive.
Yeah, and listen, when we were talking earlier about like Ramos having, good leg attacks, like, he's training, Nicky Rod's training with Craig and Nicky Ryan, like he clearly is seeing leg locks, so it's not like it's a disadvantage for him. But if Ramos had a strength, a strength in this match, I'd say he's a little more experienced on the leg locks in match. Still pulling down, and that wears on your head. You see how Nick grabs the back of the head and he'll pull forward. See how he doesn't just leave that as a stagnant grip. He's moving the head out of position, and that's exhausting to have to keep posturing yourself back up, And it's not like Nick's not just holding there. Like he's moving. Oh, look at this, slide by. Well timed. Little feints there too by Ramos.
Ramos is not here to get pushed around, man.
That's what I said. There is no easy. Every match is a super match.
You got to stay out there for 10 minutes with Nick Rodriguez, though. He's going to take you into the deep water here.
And he could still do this right now. Now, the reason that he wouldn't be able to do that in points, just to understand why even taking a knee, is because he prevents, there's that snap down, he prevents his opponent's ability to be offensive and shoot. So when he take a knee like that and you're preventing your opponent from being able to shoot, they take that as a guard pull. So even going to a knee is frowned upon. Even bending down and having the knee almost touch the floor.
Yeah, well, that
both
same
palms
trick
need to be on the floor.
That same little play that Nicky Rod makes, they even made reference to that to him exactly in the rules meeting yesterday.
Like
he can't stay down there for 3 seconds during the points period. During this opening 5 minutes, you can almost do whatever you want. That's the beautiful thing about the ADCC rule set, I think, is it opens us up to see all the different forms of grappling. Wrestling has a place to shine. Jiu-jitsu has a place to shine. A points player has a place to shine. A submission artist has a place to shine. It's not a jiu-jitsu tournament. This is the Submission Wrestling World Championships.
Feint again here. Nicky Rod ready to snap down immediately. You can watch Nicky Rod's last run on that FloGrappling's Flow Arena from the 2019 ADCC World Championships. Back on the collar. 2 minutes till points here again. Little feints, no real commitment yet. Just feints, a lot of head moving. No, they've been active enough where they even had action called. Because there is a difference also between action and warning. You'll see the ref now. Here you go. He's going to stop. He's calling for action. So this isn't a warning. This is him just saying, let's pick up the pace. Okay?
And that's a lot of pressure for an athlete, too. The referee starting to tell you.
It does seem like he may have just issued a warning. Okay, maybe it was a warning. You won't see that on the scoreboard. You won't see it on the scoreboard. Now he's level changed again. A little bit tighter in on the shot was Ramos.
A heavy collar tie with the left hand by Ramos.
Winner of this will take on will take on John Hansen.
And Nicky Rod sitting hip to the ground for just a moment, inviting Ramos in, trying to convince him.
I'm wondering, a little knee tap there. I'm wondering if Ramos is going to pull just before the time. So right before that halfway mark, that 5 minute mark, you'll see a lot of people take advantage of it right before BMAC, and they'll sit so that they don't have to worry about the takedown. They can start in a guarded position while they're seated.
A lot of the winners and successful players in ADCC, they're masters of the strategy of ADCC. So exactly like you're saying, knowing when to be in position when the points drop, is a huge part of the strategy.
And your corner understanding, you know, where to tell you, you know, move to turtle. That's something we'll get into too, is neutral positioning when we start to get there, because there are some positions that once you've defended long enough, they kind of neutral out and give you a top bottom. So that's the second warning.
That's the second warning.
And he hit that second warning with 20 seconds left, so that means the next one is a negative going into, or once they get into that points part of this. So again, we're about 10 seconds away. I'm wondering what's going to happen here, if they're going to both stay standing. Now, something that Nick could do too is sit first, and then as soon as the points go on, stand right back up, and then, or just stand up and force.
Oh, there he is.
Now there it is, gets to the body lock. Now here's this turtle position.
That happened just as the points period hit.
Rodriguez not going to wait for the takedown though. He's already got a single hook in. Ramos going to try to prevent, turns in. Rodriguez will maintain north-south here. So he turned turtle, so there's not going to be any points distributed for this because he was able to neutral out the position in turtle. Ramos was able to turn himself and give up the side control. Had Nick went to the mount or back, would have been the only way he could have scored there. Staying north-south here, Ramos. Bottom position. Winner on mat 1 is Victor Hugo. He'll move on to face Gordon Ryan in the round of 8 quarterfinals. North-south position here for B teams. Nick Rodriguez on top of Renzo Gracie's Damon Ramos. Let's see what he tries to do for him. And B-Mac, like we see them fighting for inside position, right? Like we see, you know, Nicky Rod can't, you know, move too much. Oh, a nice step over the mount. Now he'll just get pass points for that.
That's right. They award.
Yeah,
they
only award
consecutive points.
Yeah, you can't just move from one position to the other without control. So what he should probably get is 3 points for the pass, and they did just award that. Had he held the side control for 3 seconds, he would have gotten a 3 and then moved to mount and scored that again.
Well,
but because he moved right through, he'll just get the pass points.
He hit that little touch pass over on his left side, bumped the knee out of the way, and stepped over that butterfly hook. Really nice work. And now he's climbing the body. He's going to look to take his hands.
And he's body locked, right?
Yeah.
He's like body locked in mount, which you don't see a lot, and it probably would behoove him to get at least one arm over top of the shoulder, because you see how Ramos is now almost able to get his knees in line where he's going to be able to get a butterfly in. Yep. On mat 2, Felipe Pena did move on, so he will move on to the round of 8.
Big win, like it was 8-0. All right, back into the half guard for Ramos here.
So if he
back over with that same step again.
Yeah, and now here's the thing: if he would have allowed the leg to be trapped, now that the leg's trapped, 1, 2, 3, now it's a different position. Now Nick can pass again.
And that's exactly what we're going to see him do here.
And it's
staying with this body lock.
Right, it's his bread and butter, right? The Roddy lock. Now he'll get a butterfly in here. Actually, this is probably a stronger setup. Now you see how he framed away to regrip. Now, one thing I want you to see here. Oh, a good job by Ramos.
He gave a little pressure on that Americana-style lock on the other side.
And the big thing that Rodriguez is looking at is head positioning and heel-to-butt connection, right? So you see how he's trying to force in, so he's getting that one.
Oh, look at
this. And does it again, right to mount.
What a beautiful pass.
Wow, so he'll get another 3 for that and move up 6-0. The big thing is his head positioning when he was there, keeping it on center. When Ramos was able to move his head off center, space was created. Now Ramos moves back to where he has, and again, Nick can let this maintain here and pass again and collect some more points.
Stacking the points up.
And then maybe move a little freely, you know what I mean, for attacks once he's secured a few more points. But he's up 6-0 right now with 2 minutes left.
Being ahead by 6 points in an ADCC rule set is a big lead. It's so hard to score.
So hard to score. Ramos will make it back to his feet. We have 2 minutes remain. Now remember, there's 2 warnings still, so negatives can still come into play. Circling to the outside, here is Ramos. Rodriguez shucks him off. I will say this too, when you're the one that's ahead in points, you'll notice that you're almost looked at as the one who now needs to be even more so the aggressor, because you can't pull off the brakes, or you can't put on the brakes and pull off the gas once you've scored. Now they actually expect you to do more. If you look back at that nice sprawl out here, front headlock position, trying to
the legs.
Track into the back. He wants to get on his
the
back
big elevation right here.
Nice job of Ramos of trying to split them grips, and now he'll turtle himself out here. Now the position is now to where Ramos can turn to his side and allow side control or any kind of guard.
Without suffering.
Without suffering any more points, but we're under a minute now. And he rolls through, back on top. Still turtled out here, under a minute. Rodriguez up 6-0 here in the opening round. Jay Regabuta here with B-Mac. Brandon McCaffrey here at the ADCC World Championships. Finally here. Finally here.
Let's see what Nicky Drod does with this single hook. 30 seconds to go. He may be content to just keep the action alive.
Tried to roll through here.
By Ramos.
And Ramos able to do that because there was only one hook in. Had there be two hooks in, he could not roll forward like that. Even though it was over the shoulder, that second hook in stops you from being able to go forward over the shoulder.
Look at that counter wrestling, just
right.
Oh my, beautiful work.
He'll get another 2 for that, and he'll end this with an 8-0 victory over Damon Ramos. And your winner, 8-0. B team's Nick Rodriguez, and he is going to move on to face John Hansen. In the round of 8. Now, he does have a win over John Hansen in his 2019 West Coast Trials final with a rear naked choke victory. Here's a little replay of the match. B-Mac, you want to take us through it?
A couple very big competitors ready to throw down here.
All right, Jake, and we're on to the second match of the day here on mat 1. No surprise to see Big Dan here sit to guard. See how Victor chooses to approach.
You know, I was just about to say that. No surprise here. Big Dan, noted for being, I mean, a plus 99 competitor who really does love to do the leg entanglements. He loves to play guard, and this is going to be a key for Victor Hugo in this matchup, especially early on, is to weather the storm. Big Dan throws so many leg entanglements. He's very well versed, a Danaher student. And we haven't seen too much of Victor Hugo in the ADCC rule set, but it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches this situation right here.
Yeah, it was very interesting to watch Big Dan's confidence rise over the season. He had a great run at the West Coast Trials earlier in the year, but kind of fell short there in the final, made a tactical error, went down a penalty point, but came back strong at the European Trials. And then, of course, had that legendary performance there at WNX. You see Victor passing on the feet, which is, you know, a more nimble option, but also allows a lot of entries to his legs. So I like the confidence from Victor as well here, saying, I'll take you on at your best game here, Dan.
Absolutely. And, you know, it is important to note as well that in the coaching, not right now in the corner, but in the coaching of Victor Hugo is Shanji Ribeiro, who is an ADCC veteran. He obviously has dealt with this game a lot. They're very studied down there. Victor Hugo, an IBJJF world champion, but look at the way he bends his knee. We see on our angle right now, Victor Hugo almost ending up in a leg entanglement there, but keeping his heel to his butt and continually doing so, now possibly ending up in a tight pass. He's got the body lock. Dan doing a great job elevating with that butterfly hook, and forcing Victor to disengage. And now a body lock of his own.
Yeah, great exchanges early. Both guys testing both sides of the game here, top and bottom positions. I liked Victor's look at the body lock, but Big Dan was able to get those hands separated and come up on top real quick. And it's fun that both are so well-versed at the guard position, right? Victor is happy to be down here, actually. He has no problem playing guard. In fact, that may be a strategy as we come towards here the points period.
Absolutely. Now Big Dan dropping back for an ankle lock. He's got a very good straight ankle lock as well, and now switching it over to 50-50. This is a very tough situation for Victor Hugo, immediately getting his knee line free. And now he's back in his own butterfly guard. This is probably going to be a tale of this match, Chase.
I think that's a great preview of what's to come, absolutely. You can see some serious flexion and tension in the foot and ankle there. Victor Hugo in that straight ankle lock. Yeah, you do not want to hang out there, Big Dan. Great job for Victor Hugo to extract himself from that situation. Let's see what comes next.
Absolutely. And you see Big Dan, he's grabbing the ankles a lot and doing this step over pass. You know, he's grabbing both ankles, trying to step around the guard, something we see Gordon Ryan do a lot. So you can really see the effect the John Danaher squad has had on Dan Montesoyo. And like you said, Chase, he's improved so much. He's going against, I mean, Victor Hugo, two-time IBJJF world champion. Very experienced competitor. Dan Montesoyo looks very composed out there.
100%. No, being world champion as well for Victor Hugo at the black belt level. And is an amazing camp as well. But we see the pace slowing down as I say that. Victor Hugo shoots for that body lock pass. Hands are connected now.
Oh, trying to use that butterfly guard to elevate and get under. 1 minute and 30 seconds till points come into effect here, Chase. How do you think the game plan is going to change? Do you think Dan Montesoyo will keep on initiating the same attack, or do you think that there'll be a little bit of a mix-up?
It really just depends on if Victor Hugo wants to sit. I don't believe he'd want to play a double guard pull game with Dan. That just is too inviting for the leg lock shootout. But we'll see if there's any trade-off here on the top or bottom position. I think Dan would much rather prefer to be on bottom because sitting back is much riskier, of course, when points are in play.
Absolutely. One thing I will say, though, that I'm noticing out of Big Dan is he keeps on going for this elevated leg entry from the butterfly guard off of the body lock. I wonder if Victor Hugo is going to be able to adjust to that. I would love to hear what Victor Hugo's corner is saying in this sort of situation. Oh, going for the waiter sweep. That could have been his undoing,
here's
though.
a heel hook from Big Dan.
There's a heel hook from Big Dan.
The knee is free, but Big Dan still knows how to put a lot of torque onto that thing. Victor Hugo, though, seemingly out of danger at the moment. But yeah, another shot across the bow from Dan Montesoyo out there.
My goodness. There's going to be a lot of yell moments in this tournament. I thought we were going to get our first one out of the way there.
As Braulio Steeman likes to say, it's a tap! I haven't seen that yet, but I think we'll see Big Dan sit down one more time here. We have, it looks to be about...
You know, as Victor Hugo just went for that sweep there, it seemed to me like he was a little... I don't know, it almost seemed to me like he was a bit abrasive to coming on top with his leg wrapped up in Dan's guard. He got the sweep, but then immediately pulled his leg back like he was pulling his punch.
All right, we've reached the points period here. You hear our referee initiate, so Victor Hugo now on top. Much less likely to concede position here, go to bottom.
And we'll see what kind of passing opportunities he does. Already switching it up a little bit, looking almost like a knee cut opportunity there. So far, Big Dan has done a really great job of meeting Victor Hugo where he is. When the body lock happens, he immediately pummels his legs in, gets his double overs.
So far, great work rate from both athletes. Very high pace.
Victor Hugo, of course, no slouch in the leg lock game himself. Possibly looking for a knee bar underneath, but he needs to be careful not to give up a sweep going for this position. It looks like he might have just now.
It all depends if they consider that initiating a leg lock and attack. If you dive from top position onto a submission attack, they will not count that as sweeping points, and I haven't seen the scoreboard change, so that's one of the intricacies here of ADCC. Now we have Big Dan, though. Pretty powerful position here on top.
One thing about Victor Hugo, it's interesting to add, if you saw him at his recent performance at the Worlds, he had a big comeback. Victor, in this situation, I mean, he's on his back. He has not really had a lot of offense going off of his back as of yet in this match, but Victor's the kind of guy that can pull a leg lock, a knee bar, in a lot of different situations. He did have a victory over Tim Spriggs in no-gi via heel hook as well, so. As the clock winds down to 3 minutes, it's going to be interesting to see. Will Victor Hugo start to throw a leg attack of his own?
I'm liking the passing action here from Big Dan. Really looking heavy on top. Victor Hugo finally getting into a little bit more of an attacking position there, but for a moment, Big Dan looking like a wet blanket in the best possible way.
Absolutely, and it almost looks like he's picking up the pace a little bit too, Chase. Would you say?
I think you're right. He got opposite to change his posture a little bit, get a little bit high before he closes in. You see Big Dan definitely favors more of a pressure passing style, wants to fold the legs, crush any openings for Victor Hugo.
A little over 2 minutes left. Still 0-0 in this, the first round of the plus 99 kilogram division. Victor Hugo, I would say he's in a much more comfortable position here. Oh, throwing up a leg for a possible omoplata. He's got a hook with his left arm over the other shoulder. Going to be a difficult submission to get, especially this late into the match. No gi, you don't see a lot of omoplata, but props to Victor Hugo for throwing it up here.
Yeah, I love the confidence from Victor Hugo. Also gives Big Dan just one more thing to think about, to consider out there. We're approaching here the last minute and a half of this round. Big Dan looks almost like he was going to sit there, but stays on top.
After this first round, if it is 0-0 within the next minute 14 seconds, then it will go to a 5-minute overtime if needed. At which point the referees will make a decision on who they think won. And right now it's pretty even. Big Dan has had some heel hook dropbacks early on in the match, and it's important to note as well that the ADCC judges take the entire match into account, not just overtime. So this whole match, the referees have been diligently watching in the event that they need to make a decision.
Big Dan sits back on an ankle.
And the heel slips out. Victor Hugo gets himself out of there. That's an interesting situation too, because Big Dan dropped back for that footlock and still retained top position. Well, I wonder if that'll give him any confidence going forward to drop back for more footlocks.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Great strategy from Big Dan to go to his best attacks.
Oh, but here we go. Looks like he might be dropping for a heel hook here. Victor Hugo doing a great job of getting out of these positions. Victor Hugo about to take the back.
Wow, what a sequence from Victor Hugo.
My goodness, 10 seconds left. And it looks like he's about to take the back and get the score on Big Dan.
The points are on the board. The time's expired. Victor Hugo is moving on to the next round.
In the last 15 seconds, Victor Hugo, from the jaws of an overtime round, snatches the victory away, and he will be moving on. Really technical match.
That means Victor Hugo will face Gordon Ryan in his next match. Stay tuned for that a little bit later today.
My goodness, a little bit of history between those two as well. What an amazing atmosphere here, the Thomas and Mack Arena. Oh, now John looking for a pass opportunity to the right side.
Vinny, though, very, very composed, very relaxed out there. He's been there a million times. Knows there's no points at the moment, so he can take this moment to actually feel out John, feel his pressure, see what he's given him, and then decide maybe how he wants to set up his attacks in the second half of this round.
Absolutely. Vinny Magalhaes is the last person actually to beat Gordon Ryan, who's fighting on mat number 2 right now in competition at the ACB.
Little elevation there from Vinny. Vinny, noted leg locker.
A good job by John, though, making sure that his knee line is free. And one thing that is very important in these heel hook fights is making sure that your knee is not compromised. So you'll see a lot of athletes, the very first thing that they'll try to do, like John Hansen just did, is clear their knee line.
Nice pressure from John Hansen. So Vinny is talking to the ref. May have been a groin issue there. I didn't quite get to see from our vantage point, but
it looks like it could potentially be his foot too. I wonder what happened.
It does.
Oh, he's grabbing.
Oh, the very unfortunate circumstance here on mat 1.
There, Juslo's able to 4 points. So go there, that power half. You see how strong that power half is to beat up that 4-point position. It really wears on your head and your neck. And you know, if your head goes through your legs, you're going to follow. So. And see Gordon, now it's points. Now you'll most likely see him get into a scoring situation here. There it is. Katagatami. Yeah, Jusula turns into Gordon. There's going to be a Katagatami. If he turns away, he's going to get his back taken.
This looks like this is over. That's a very unfortunate end for Vinny. You hate to see that. But John Hansen will moving on to the next round here.
Certainly not the way that he wanted to move on, but John Hansen will be moving on to the next round. So. As you guys just...
And welcome to the 2022 ADCC World Championships here live at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. Jay Regalbuta here with B-Mac, Brandon McCaffrin calling the action on mat 3. First match, we got Roosevelt Souza taking on Joel Rocha here in the first round, plus 99. What's up, B-Mac?
I can't believe we're here, man.
We're here.
We did it.
Rocha in the black and white, all black for Souza. Rocha, former silver medalist, ADCC South American champion, South American Trials champion, Roosevelt Souza. Collar tie here. So with the ADCC rules, first half of the match, first 5 minutes, there'll be no points. Points are introduced in the second half of the match. Pulling guard in the second half of the match in these early rounds. Ooh, into the body lock here.
Yeah, Gabriel Rocha keeping the frames there, but Sousa made a play for that body lock.
Back to center. Big part of this ADCC rule set is aggression and initiations. They want to see you attacking. They will probably be fairly quick on the stalling calls and warning calls.
Yeah, they were really emphasizing that during the rules meeting yesterday, that we will be noting who is the initiator of the aggression. And that's really, if it comes down to points, or we don't have points and it comes down to a judge's decision, that's what they're going to be basing this on. It's who's able to be the most aggressive fighter, initiate the action.
That's what, B-Mac, that's what makes this rule set so exciting, is it forces action. So it forces them to move maybe when they're not ready to. And I'll tell you, every time they do those initiations or those calls for, you see him stopping now, referee Jarno, stops and says, let's go. And it's been, what, minute and 40 seconds. They're not going to mess around this
Very
weekend.
quick warning. They were saying they're going to be issuing these warnings a lot quicker.
So you get 2 warnings before negative points start. You can't award negative points until the second half of the match, though. So if they get 2 warning calls in the beginning, then the stallings will have to start in the second half of the match. These will all be 10 minutes with a 5-minute overtime if needed. Collar ties, little level change here by Rocha.
Underhook around to the back. They're going to let them play off the mats, too.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Because of how the rule set works and because it's really focused on when you score, it's focused on major control, like seriously controlling your partner. He's going to roll through, and Souza going to end up on top here, half guarded. Framing away is Rocha. So again, there's going to be no score for that because we're still in that first half of the match, that first part where there's no score.
Yeah, Sousa really getting the better of the exchanges in the wrestling here in the first part of this match, though.
Yeah, listen, Rocha is silver medalist too in ADCC, a former silver medalist, so Sousa's got his hands full here.
Yeah, and this was really one of the guys that Gordon was saying, I wouldn't say he was concerned about him, but he had some respect for him coming into the bracket. He's like, he's a big, strong athlete. He's going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, that's Rocha you're talking about, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, he has a points win over Rocha, and I think
that
was the one he blew his knee out. Yeah, tried to lift laterally and blew that knee out. And he is on the side of the bracket with Gordon.
Yeah, they could end up meeting in that second round.
The semifinals, yes, they could meet in the semi. So if they did meet, it would be tomorrow. Now here's another. Now I don't know. It might not have been a warning. I believe that was just a call for. Oh, was it? So he put up a second. So then they just gave Roosevelt a second warning. So that means that penalties will kick in after 5 minutes. So he has his 2 warnings. So now once 5 minutes is up, he's going to. He's going to be in that territory where he can be penalized. See him trying to, and I'll tell you, it's not that he hasn't been active either. They just want you to be very active. Yeah. John Hansen on mat 3 does move, or mat 1 does move on, just to keep you updated on some other mats. Mat 2, Gordon Ryan just finishes. He will move on. Inside collar tie here for Souza. B-Mac, how about this crowd?
It's just the whole spectacle of the thing, Jay, it's a very surreal feeling to even be here. Thomas and Mack Center here in Las Vegas, and the place is packed out, man.
On mat number 2, your winner, fourth prize.
So we got less than a minute till the points period here.
And again, Souza's sitting on 2 warnings. And
that's
just so
big
people
part
know
of
at home too, the person on the mat, the referee is not the one scoring. There's judges at the table who are actually scoring. So the ref's job, keep the action going, keep the fighters as safe as possible. And like you said, we will go off the mat. They'll go off the mat because they want to make sure the positions are secured. If it's a submission, they want to make sure it's secured.
Yeah, they announced to us just a little earlier, if you are mat side, you are not safe. Pay attention.
Yeah, you are not safe, that's for sure. Now listen, when this 5 minutes does hit, I wouldn't be shocked if you didn't see almost an immediate penalty or another immediate warning.
I bet we're going to see an immediate change of pace from Sousa.
Oh,
too.
right.
I think he's going to want to start getting down right now. There it is, points period.
All right, here we go. And we'll talk you through, if you're not really familiar with the rule set, we'll talk you through and get you understanding everything that's happened, that's for sure. Still collar tied in the middle for Rocha.
He's getting ready.
Souza.
Referee's getting ready to make a warning again. Roosevelt keeping good head position here. And now Rocha begins to change his level. Tying up with these mercy grips.
And again, big guys like this, like, I get it. You know, neither one really wants to be on the bottom. You know, there's a lot of work to do to sweep and get on top. One of the hardest things to do in this rule set is sweep. And in this division, trying to turn one of these big guys over, that's a lot. It's a lot to ask.
Simply
right,
scoring in this rule set.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a penalty or... All right, so there's just warnings. Oh, no, there you go, both negatives. All right, so both of them had 2 warnings already, so now they're both -1. A -1 acts just as a negative. So if it were 2-0 with the person with 0 having the 0 and the person with the 2 points having a -1, then it would be 1-0. So they literally minus off your plus points. 4 minutes to go here. Opening round of 16.
There's the body
there
lock.
it was, and Rocha was ready for it. Wow, and he counters over top. Oh, keeps moving. Now listen, it's got to be controlled. 3 seconds.
He
Oh,
comes in
he's in on a knee bar. He's deep on that.
Sosa counters with the knee bar.
Roosevelt Souza takes it. I'll tell you, Rocha countered that with a hip toss, and Souza kept that motion going, gets to that leg, stretches Rocha out, and he is going to move on to the round of 8 for Roosevelt Souza.
Oh, and Rocha is in pain.
Wow.
A devastating knee bar.
So you saw how that match, B-Mac, right? That was like nothing really happened, and 2 negatives get given out. What happens? Action, baby.
Action immediately.
They start for the take. Roosevelt went for the takedown, countered by Rocha, and then Rocha able to quickly, Souza able to get some elevation, control that leg, and straighten it out. Man, once he put it behind his arm, right? Once he tucked that, you knew it was going to be bad. Even being flat on his back.
Victorious over Dean Lister in that tournament.
That's right. Orlando Sanchez has a game that's built for ADCC. Great wrestler, tough to take down. Do not want him on top even. Max Jimenez, also very well-rounded grappler himself. I think this should be a great match.
I think so as well. Orlando always a really fun competitor to watch as well. Very flexible. Definitely a dynamic character as well. Already getting things going with a big collar tie right off the bat. My goodness. Max Jimenez looks like he's taking it in stride, though.
That's what you need to expect coming into ADCC. It's bound to happen. I'm imagining we'll see it again. Maybe not long from now.
Yeah, Max Jimenez already throwing up a hard collar tie of his own. Forehead to forehead. This is going to be a nitty-gritty battle here. Oh, looking for a foot sweep.
And we're already seeing a very high work rate. Orlando Sanchez is moving around the mat. I think he would like to control the pace just a bit more, but Max Jimenez pushing him on the feet.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, a lot of athletes, they use this initial half of the match to try to a little bit more of a scuffle. It seems like they're getting a little heated out there. But as I was saying, Chase, the athletes use the first half of the match, try to feel each other out, try to get a little warmed up, get those jitters out of there, knowing that there's no points. There is some room to make a little bit of an error here. There, not too big of an error unless you get tapped out, but at least it's a small judgment.
Not to mention shaking off those nerves. I mean, this is an insane venue, the biggest crowd of all time. You got to wonder how it's affecting the first match of the day, looking around. I feel nervous. I'm just sat here, Matt's side.
Yeah, we have the easy job, and we're the one with the jitters. This 99-plus kilogram division moving right along over there on mat 3. Nikki Rogers moved on as well. There's definitely some tension on this match, Chase.
Yeah, Orlando likes to make things a little gritty, right? Gets in the head of his opponent, makes it a little seemingly personal, even though it's probably not, right? He's just trying to put the aggression out there.
One thing about Orlando that I'm really noticing is he's got a really, his collar tie is very, it's almost sticky, right? Like he's got a very hard and very strong grip on his collar tie.
Yeah, he really just likes to hang on the back of the head, right? He's not even necessarily setting up a shot per se. Right now it's about fatigue. He's trying to wear down Max Jimenez and open up that shot maybe later in the match, especially when points are a factor. You don't want to risk it maybe right now, sell out on a takedown that wouldn't maybe get you very far as the points are concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I don't imagine either of these guys are going to be doing like a snap down double leg, but it would be interesting to see how these two, I mean, Max Jimenez using a lot of these foot sweeps, but how is this match going to go to the ground? A lot of matches in ADC are predominantly wrestling matches until it goes to the ground, and then we start to see a little bit more of the jiu-jitsu come out.
We just saw our referee there call for action. And Orlando with a strong stiff arm to the face there.
Oh!
But now, the question is, can Max Jimenez hang on to Orlando?
Absolutely.
Position, he's great at escaping from the turtle position here. At ADCC, this is not a takedown if you land in turtle. Of course, it wouldn't matter now. We're still not in the points period, but important to know as the day goes on, this is actually a non-spawn position from the feet if you end up here.
Orlando shaking his head a little bit, almost like he maybe got hit in the head when he landed.
Now Max certainly wants to make the most of this, take the back. But we've seen Orlando here before.
Oh, absolutely. Looking to get one hook in, but Orlando doing a great job bringing his right elbow to his knee. One thing about Orlando as well, very knowledgeable in this rule set. It's not going to be a walk in the park to get anything going on Orlando Sanchez.
The winner of this bout will go on to face Felipe Pena later today. If you didn't see that one, Felipe had a pretty gritty match, actually, pretty tough, but managed to soar through on the scorecards.
I'm interested to see how, like, the avenue that Max is going to take. I think that if he were to take his left ankle and try to connect it, oh, Orlando goes for a big roll, and now right back in turtle position.
That's a nice attempt from Orlando to get back to the feet. Nearly had enough space to do so. Yep, there's definitely 10,000 people in this place.
Absolutely. As we're here with Max Jimenez looking to peel the foot of Orlando Sanchez over on mat 3, Haisam Rita just submitted Cyborg. This is going to be a historic day. Orlando Sanchez back to his feet and right back in the face of Max Jimenez.
The timing couldn't have been better either. We're in the points period here.
Oh, I wonder if Orlando Sanchez was timing that, because he got up right away when he definitely did the Derek Lewis, I'm just gonna get up now. Orlando Sanchez once again having to apologize for a heavy collar tie. Now Orlando once again. This is a little bit of a fierce, emotional match.
There's much more negotiating going on than we usually see in a grappling match.
Absolutely, there's some negotiating going on between the ref and Orlando, and Max Jimenez for that matter. They're both really giving the collar tie to each other pretty tough.
Heavy frames there from Orlando. Again, relatively defensive posture here, but making life difficult for Max Jimenez. There's the first little snap down we've seen from Orlando.
And, you know, I will say, Orlando's definitely, his fingers are definitely dangerously close to the face of Max Jimenez. From our angle, it looks like he's trying to put himself in a position to get the snap down on the arms, potentially to set up a takedown of some sort, but his hands do gravitate towards the face of Max Jimenez. And you know, you brought up an interesting point earlier, Chase. You got to wonder, is that part of Orlando's game plan? Is he trying to push the envelope as far as he can to get Max Jimenez as frustrated as he legally can before he goes for something? Or do you think that this is just something else?
Hard to say, but at this point, oh, we do see a penalty appear here on the scoreboard for Sanchez. That definitely changes the pacing of this match. The onus is now on Orlando to achieve some positive momentum.
The referee going to the judges' table now. Looks like there's a little bit more to deliberate than just that penalty. Two penalties given to Orlando Sanchez, actually. And now he has seemingly dug himself into a little bit of a hole here. So far, most of the offense being initiated by Max Jimenez, getting that foot sweep earlier, ending up in turtle position, and Orlando's mostly, oh, as I say that, big single leg attempt. We'll see if he's able to get this match to the ground and going out of bounds. Or they're going to reset him. Getting his foot right out of there, kicking out. Max Jimenez certainly no stranger to an intense fight, and another foot sweep! Puts Orlando down, and looks like he's about to get into the mount position fully. Yeah, he's able to put 75% or more of Orlando's back on the mat.
Beautiful work from Max Jimenez there. Not resting on his laurels, knowing he has a lead. He's still pushing the pace here. Orlando's in a lot of trouble with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left.
You know, that's a really good thing for Max Jimenez. This is a really good position for him to find himself in, because if he did, let's say he did want to rest for on top of his lead, now he can really rest on top of his lead. He's up by a lot of points. He's in mount. And as you said, Chase, the winner of this will go on to fight Felipe Pena. Sanchez complaining about some discomfort in a certain area. What an absolutely unreal event. I'll probably bring that up multiple times throughout the day. This is absolutely insane.
Truly is something to see here.
All 11,000 tickets sold out for ADCC Worlds.
All right, the action resumes here on mat 1. Max Jimenez up by 2 positive points, 2 penalties awarded to Orlando Sanchez. 2 minutes left. A lot of twos there.
Little under 2 minutes left as well. What were you saying, Chase?
I was going to say this is a great a confidence booster for Jimenez too, right? You don't want to win a match on penalties. It's not exactly the best feeling, right? Going out and finishing in a dominant position, getting the submission, that's what you want to do.
Orlando Sanchez tapping and mount. Still complaining about potential pain from earlier, but
all right, guys, we have one of the most anticipated matches of the competition, and not just ADCC, but in the super heavyweight division in general. Victor Hugo's been calling for this match for quite some time against Gordon the King Ryan, who's entered in the 99 kilo plus division before his showdown with Andre Galvão tomorrow. This is going to be something. Victor Hugo, you know, world no-gi champion. He's been to ADCC 2 times. Didn't have so much success in the last ADCC. Gordon Ryan, the King, you know, one of the most dominant grapplers of no-gi today. This is something that Gordon's been calling for as well. He wanted to test himself against Victor Hugo. Victor, known for a very strong inverted game, loves the leg, you know, has a different leg entanglement game, different leg lock game altogether. You know, loves the 50-50, knee bars more so than, you know, heel hooks and stuff like that. But he'll go in a shootout. He's not afraid, and he'll use that to get to the back or get on top. But against Gordon Ryan, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah. He does have a very good closed guard as well, does Victor Hugo.
Victor Hugo, gray shorts, no top. Gordon Ryan, rash guard, dark shorts.
And you can really see, yeah, he does have a very, very good closed guard, does Victor Hugo. And I like that I did like how Gordon was walking the legs through. He's going on his own Udagatami here.
Look how Hugo's trying to twist that arm out, trying to twist the elbow out to get a better bite on that. But Gordon patiently stood up, opened the legs, now looking to pass.
Yeah, and he steps his knee right in the gap there, that right knee, and then just back steps out, high steps out. Victor Hugo will really have to have those inside hook positions, because that's when you're going to see Gordon's right arm come and dominate this ankle if he gets pushed out of there a little bit, and he'll step right, high step right out if he gets pushed out.
2 minutes into this matchup, Victor Hugo's got that nice little trap on the De La Riva side, but Gordon pointing his knee out and back in, just shutting that left leg down. But Victor Hugo's using that to elevate a little bit there, but to no avail. Beautiful pass by Gordon Ryan. Going to the back, and Victor Hugo now coming up for a second. Beautiful counter by Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, that was an amazing move to the back there. Like, very, very well timed.
That whole scramble, that whole sequence by both of them was great, but Gordon finished right into mount, just like a magician.
Now Gordon's going to need to repummel that left arm if he wants Katagatami. He's got double unders right now, so that's a very good position for him. He can gift wrap off on this left side. You see Victor Hugo's left arm just hanging around. That's a gift wrap on that side if Gordon wants to gift wrap and then repummel his right arm for Katagatami or take the back.
And, you know, we've seen recently, obviously against different size opponents, but, you know, Gordon's finished from mount, armbar from mount, Roberto Jimenez, you know. So wouldn't be surprised to see that here, at least an attempt as well. Yeah. But, man, Victor Hugo is really in a bad position here, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, with the double underhooks, they're just, he's in such good control because Victor has to bridge to one side. Typically, it's the same side of your head, and it just sets up Katagatami. I mean, Gordon's just trying to keep his right foot pummeled in good position so he doesn't, there it is, so he doesn't lose that this whole series. There's the gift wrap coming, so that's always there when you have double unders.
This is Gordon's second match in the 99 kilo plus division. Second time in ADCC for Victor Hugo, but going against the King. We're almost in point scoring time of the match.
Victor has the leg has moved in to like a half guard-ish situation, but you can see that Gordon's right underhook is pretty deep at the moment, and so that'll let him just really pummel right back off to this side. That underhook. It's gonna keep moving down lower and lower and get that right underhook deeper and deeper.
Gordon just putting a ton of pressure on Victor Hugo. Just not giving him an inch. Continuing to try to smash. All right, 5 minutes left in this match. Points are on.
Coming to match number 3, and Roosevelt Sousa.
Gordon standing up.
Just keeping his leg in the middle, walking around to the side here now.
Yeah, Gordon's footwork and passing attempts have just been brilliant.
Yeah, they're so good.
Victor Hugo now. He's got his arm trapped. Gordon now gets to the back position. Repeat of where we were earlier.
Yeah, and you can see that right underhook now. He's got already double under, so when he mounts here, it's going to be a double underhook scenario, which gives gift wrap. Got to get time. The whole thing over again. Double underhooks. If you can pass into double underhooks, you are in good shape. You really force your opponent to make a mistake when they free one arm. So you can see the gift wrap is sitting there.
Gordon trying to free that right foot. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left in this match. It's been all Gordon Ryan, though.
Yeah, and he really doesn't have to struggle hard to free that foot if he doesn't want. It's because of the double underhook position there. No matter where Victor Hugo goes, it's not going to be good. But he did free his foot. Full mount again. He looks like he's climbing up on an arm now.
Yeah. Getting his chest behind the right elbow of Victor Hugo. There it is.
Yep.
S-mount. Exactly what we saw him do with Roberto Jimenez. Now he switched to a triangle there for a sec. Oh! Okay. 2 minutes, 58 seconds left. Victor Hugo's got to work here. Down 6-0 against Gordon Ryan. Not an easy thing to do. I think Victor's looking. It's almost like he accepted the shuck just so he can play guard.
Yeah, I agree. There's that back step pass there on that. He's got that left hand on that ankle. You need your inside leg there. It's better for Hugo to have that leg on the inside, so it slows that down, but.
Two minutes left. Gordon up 8-0. Dominant performance. But if we know Gordon Ryan, he wants to finish this.
Yeah.
He wants to prove a point. I think Gordon is on a mission to try to finish every single opponent in this division on his way to Andre Galvão, which if he can do is just simply amazing. But Hugo defending there, using that inversion. Less than a minute and a half to go. Gordon Ryan. Up by 8 points.
They're trying to get under. He's got underneath there a little bit. There's a left staple by Gordon now is going to have to sort of point his knee the other way. This is your 50-50 that you were talking about,
Yep.
Ricardo.
Victor's really good in this position. He's got some good knee bars here, but something tells me he's not going to be able to finish. Now Gordon's sitting on a reverse heel hook. Can't see from this angle, but yeah, he definitely did sit back for it. Victor Hugo now comes on top. Oh, and Victor Hugo's picking up the pace, but it's 20 seconds left. Too little, too late here.
Yeah.
He needed to press this gas a little, like 4 minutes ago, I think. Hugo now sitting back, saying, screw it, go for a leg lock. Shades of Buchecha and Ryan in the finals of 2019, but that'll be it. Gordon Ryan is your winner, 8-0. That was a tough match.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, he dominated from start to finish, but Victor had some good defense. He was unable to, I mean, he's one of the first guys to not get submitted by
One for the ADCC 2022 World Championships. Now, Felipe Pena versus Max Jimenez. Jimenez earlier victorious against Orlando Sanchez on this mat. Chase, what do you make of this matchup?
I'm excited, man. It's always great to watch Felipe Pena compete. He had a tough first round where he scored 8 points, but had to put in a lot of work against Josh Sanders there. But the same could be said of Max Jimenez. Hard work going against Orlando Sanchez at any time. We see Felipe now sit the guard and start to employ his game plan. He's so good, despite being in the over 99 kilogram category, at finding small spaces to spin underneath and get beneath his opponent. He can go under anybody at all times. It's crazy.
Yeah, and already this is a way different story than the Orlando Sanchez match for Max Jimenez. Felipe Pena wasting no time on the feet, just getting right down to business.
Yeah, I'm sure that Max is relieved by that fact. I don't think he wanted another, let's call it war of words with Orlando Sanchez. There's more talking almost in that match than there was grappling, but they're straight to the good stuff in this one.
Felipe Pena really hanging heavy on the head from the guard here as well.
Referee asking for a little more action from Jimenez on top. You'll get that call quick here when you go 2 knees on the floor. They really want to see guys moving. Felipe Pena's working to fight for these underhooks. Maybe get into more of a butterfly guard.
After this match, if I'm not mistaken, we'll be either on mat 1 or mat 3 looking at the matchup between Nick Rodriguez and John Hansen.
Yeah, so many good matches still left on the day. Certainly have lived up to expectations here at ADCC 2022.
One thing Felipe Pena is so good at is locking up the legs of his opponent in the guard, right? At any point during his guard, it seems like he always has his bottom hook intricately weaved in, preventing any forward progression. We saw that in his third matchup against Gordon Ryan as well. Oftentimes in the match, Gordon would be stifled on a pass and put right back in a sort of a leg weave from single leg X. And Felipe has said that he essentially, this might be his last ADCC as well. He wants to move on to an MMA career, but really trying to leave a lasting impression here. Felipe looking at the referee, pushing on Max Jimenez's shoulders, saying, I'm trying.
So I believe Max may have a penalty immediately assigned to him at the 5-minute mark. So that's how, if there was excessive stalling in the opening 5 minutes where there are no points scored or penalties awarded, they can still be assigned, and then they will appear at the 5-minute mark. Let's see if that's what just happened. I saw some discussion going on at the judges panel.
Well, it certainly seems that Felipe Pena is a bit frustrated with the pacing of Max Jimenez. Only a minute and 20 seconds left until we go into the point scoring section of this match that you just alluded to, Chase. So far, this has been the tail of the tape. Close guard for Felipe Pena. And a lot of just basically Max Jimenez alternating between putting his hands on the belly or his hands underneath the armpits of Felipe, but not attempting very much to open the guard, more seemingly just trying to stay safe. Maybe he's waiting for the point section of the match to engage, and as I say that, opens up a bit.
Yeah, there's some commitment from Jimenez.
Certainly seems that he's trying to find a way to get tight on Felipe. Well, that is much easier said than done. Now Felipe spinning underneath, it looks like. Right back now, double underhooks for Felipe Pena. A little bit of heavy work from the outside. Felipe Pena gets a little elevation. Max Jimenez really showcasing some heavy hips in defense, too. Now trying to pass to the right side, forcing Felipe to get his guard back and recover. And Felipe looking for the shoulder crunch on the left side.
Yeah, Max has definitely turned up the intensity here since the points period has come into play.
Now Felipe looking to get under this leg here and turn up for possibly a takedown and under the other leg. Typically, Felipe seems to like to get under the right leg of his opponent. But in that situation that we just saw, he ended up under the left. Three minutes to go.
And we see a negative point appear for Max Jimenez.
Two things are going to happen off of that too, Chase. You know, they have now Max Jimenez has to put the pace forward. He has to pick it up a little bit, and that's going to provide some more openings for Felipe Pena as well. With the passing prowess of Max Jimenez, Felipe Pena certainly needs to be careful, but that does, or that should rather, make things a bit more interesting from here on out as we get only 2 minutes left in this match. And the winner of this match moves on to tomorrow, right?
That's right. This is the last match of the day. We're in the second round here for the... And Max really insistent still on remaining on both knees. It's tough to make an impression on the judges from that position. You really have to get either a double underpass going or a little more pressure than just that.
A little bit of an awkward angle on Max's knee, forces him to disengage there. Felipe Pena patiently remains seated. For those of you guys watching in the multi-view stream on FloGrappling.com and following along on arena.FloGrappling.com, you'll see Map 3 has John Hansen versus Nick Rodriguez. Both of them are also fighting for their spot on the ticket tomorrow. Max Jimenez with the big knee cut, and Felipe Pena powers up to his feet and puts Max Jimenez back on his back.
What a scramble. Great counter from Felipe Pena. Still chasing this takedown here. Has a body lock from the back, dragging Max down to the mat. Really took that opportunity and run with it, has Felipe Pena. Great counter, Jake.
That was a fantastic counter. And look at these two scramble back for position. Max Jimenez trying to do whatever he can to keep Felipe off his back, but Felipe doing a great job of staying just ahead of him. Now he's in turtle position looking for both of his hooks. Important to note, Chase, that though the score is 0-0 on the primary scoring, Jimenez does have a negative point. And so if Felipe were simply to keep this lock, although he does have a choke, it looks like it's locked in. And that's it. He gets the tap, and Felipe Pena moves on to the semifinal here at ADCC Worlds.
Beautiful work from Felipe Pena. Max sold out there on that knee cut. Gotta love the aggression, but Felipe is able to flip the switch there and get what he needed, get to the back and get the finish. Impressive work.
And I will say that Max Jimenez did what I would coach my students to do. Go for broke when you're down. If there's only
white for Souza. All right.
Here we go. Rita came out with Cyborg, and you know, we were talking about how strong Cyborg's posture looked, but as soon as the match hit the floor, Rita was instantly in on that attack.
Mercy grips here in the center. Heisem lowering that head position.
And controlling the wrist here. As soon as Sousa reaches for the collar tie, Rita smacks him away aggressively.
All right, here we go. Brazilian trials, or South American trials winner, Roosevelt Souza. Heisem Rita got the invite. I'll tell you, man, got some big submission wins. Elder Cruz got a submission win over Elder Cruz, got a submission win over Cyborg, over Orlando Sanchez. Making some noise, man. You see him trying a 2-on-1 throw by there. Souza able to square himself back out.
You know, Sousa, in his first matchup, it was paced like this a little bit. It was, but it's, again, as soon as he saw an opportunity, he rolled under and hit that killer knee bar.
Winner of this will take on the winner of Gordon and Hugo. Again, you can actually watch both matches going on right now if you go to Flow Zone. And any of the matches that have already happened in the first round that you want to see, they're already up on Flow Arena. Roosevelt trying to double under here to the body lock, trying to counter back is Rita.
Yeah, it's good pummeling work on the counter from Rita. You see how strong Sousa is in that exchange. He got his body in and connected, lifted Rita up off the ground just for a moment there. Rita had to really have good pummeling, good posture to save himself in that position.
Mercy grips here in the center. I got to imagine they're going to get a call for action soon. Although I will say the table's been handing out more warnings than actual calls for action.
You know, you're right. We've only seen maybe a couple of calls for action.
Yeah, they'll hand out the warnings quick, which is good. You see the kind of action that's able to start when you tell these guys they got to start moving. And you can get as many, once you start getting the penalties, they don't stop. You can get 100 of them if you want. Still holding center here. Just over 2 minutes to points. Mercy gripped in the center.
Neither fighter really willing to step outside and take a chance just yet. I'm surprised we haven't seen
any even like real level change or even move to body lock. There we
go.
go.
As soon as we say
that far side knee tap. from Rita. Roosevelt bounces right back up.
Aggressively back in with the head comes Rita.
And your winner at
Grips.
Gordon Ryan.
Just an update, Mat 1. Gordon Ryan will move through to day 2 with a win over Victor Hugo. So winner of this match will take on Gordon Ryan tomorrow in the semifinals.
Rita's grips look very strong.
2-on-1 here. Roosevelt able to gain that grip back.
And the referee did just give him a call for action there.
1 minute to points.
We'll see some action as soon as it hits that 5-minute mark.
If not, I
can
think you'll
promise you
see them.
that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if not, you're going to see them really starting to hit them with penalties. And he'll sit 45 minutes or 45 seconds to point, and Souza tries to sweep immediately. Look at this, trying to get to the leg again. Oh, he's on an ankle. Ashi'd up here. Rita doing a good job of keeping balance and high-stepping back.
Wow.
Beautiful job. And look at this, Rita almost around. It was a beautiful job. Rita took that situation, and that was a leg lock where he was trying to put him to ground. And as long as Rita stays standing, that's nothing more than a guard. And not a strong guard. Outside, or Ashi, but it's not even connected to the outside. You know, if you're not pinching, if you don't have a good anchor, like, you can open that and split it fairly easily.
And he did exactly that, made that back step. And then Sousa brought his other foot in and tried to create an elevation and off balance there. And the way Rita just floated his hips all the way back around to the other side, that was beautiful.
Back to the standing position. Points are on now, BMAC. Mercy grips in the center.
All right, I think we're about to see an explosion from one athlete at least. Let's see who wants to take the first offensive initiative.
And with the activity that Heisen was able to do, well, you know what? It was initiated from the bottom by Roosevelt. Roosevelt went for the leg, and it was,
that's right.
You know, it was Rita that had to defend it. So, man, at this point, here's the thing that you have to realize is that even though it looked dynamic, what Rita did, none of that can happen unless Roosevelt attacks the leg.
That's true.
So Rita's, you know, action there is negated because it was started by Roosevelt.
It's very important to understand that during these scorings, and during these, especially when it comes to ref's decision, you know, you have to understand who's leading the dance.
Who started the action? Who went first? And that's what the judges are looking at. Who started the action? These guys in the middle here, circling, little pop, trying to get to the body, and he's going to get him to the mat. Nice butterfly here, trying to elevate from Rita. Now he's going to get the
score.
2. Yeah, Roosevelt Souza's going to get his 2. They're going to move back to center here. Souza up 2-0. And you want to know what, too? I feel like Rita was quickly trying to make sure he at least got leg position correct before it was stopped. You know what I mean? Like, at least if he can't get up, at least let me start where I have at least a guarded position. Start in the middle, half guarded, head and arm control for Roosevelt Souza.
They're going to fight over that. They're fighting over that left leg position. Heisem had his left leg stomped in on the calf over there.
Right. It was inside the leg. It was in between. Had inside
like he was almost trying to push it towards a lockdown. That's what he was fighting for when he was over here. But he didn't fight for his position right there, and he didn't get it. And so now he's, you know, he was flat-backed anyway, but now he's really flat-backed.
Oh, look at this.
Trying to reverse.
Oh, boy. Literally just a hip elevation. All right, now Rita closed guard.
Still 3 minutes almost left. It's a lot of time.
Body triangles off. So here's the thing, too, though. If you keep a closed guard, that's, you know, unless you're off balancing, knee pulling, and working towards something to sweep.
They're going to warn you.
Yeah, they're going to tell you, you got to open your guard and try to finish or try to sweep. And just like on top, you have to try to stand. You have to be trying to break the guard. Now, just a little rule thing for the viewers at home. If Roosevelt decided to fall back on a leg lock from here, and as long as he had it as a threat for 3 seconds, he will be in no danger of being scored on. The thing with this rule set is if you're attacking a submission, time freezes, and it's almost like the rule set protects you if you're a submission hunter. Sprawls them hips out as Rita tried to get across the head. Up to the feet, Rita hops back up.
Oh, no.
So Rita sat back down.
He's trying to decide
and
what he
could
wants to
stay
do.
there. That's still considered down. Now he's up. Now he can't go back down without being penalized.
Yeah, and he looked like he didn't know exactly
Think
what
about
he
it for a
wanted to
minute,
do
right?
there, yeah.
Mercy grips in the center of the mat here for Heisem Rita. Trying to get to that underhook. Man, I'll tell you, that was a beautiful takedown by Souza earlier.
Yeah, powerful,
kept
aggressive.
the feet moving. Oh, big man from Ghana almost had a beautiful foot sweep. He's starting to get Souza leaning forward, pushing forward a little bit. Souza's gonna have to watch those foot sweeps if he keeps leaning forward like that. See Heisem starting to pick the head to the outside. He's looked for that far knee tap earlier too, B-Mac.
He almost had it right over there in the corner.
I feel like he's trying to set it up again.
Well, he's got to pull the trigger on something.
What are we at? Under a minute. Jeez, 2-0 lead for Roosevelt Souza. Trying to avenge the loss of his coach. Inside tie. And final 30 seconds here.
Rita's going to have to take a risk.
Just going to say, I'd like to see Heisem just try something. Try something to score. See him trying to foot sweep to the outside. And again, 15 seconds. You got to be able to set it up, hold him, and score. It's just not enough time. Souza just has to remain balanced. And even if he did fall to the mat, remember too, at this point right now, Souza can just sit and take the penalty. Yeah. Souza can literally sit, take the -1, and just win. Not even have to worry about anything. He could have done it with 10, 15 seconds left. And Roosevelt Souza is going to move on to day 2. And he's going to move on to take on Gordon Ryan in the semifinals.
That's going to be a banger. Gordon just advanced against Hugo over there. I think he beat him 8-0.
Roosevelt Souza, your winner by score. And we'll move on. Winner Nick Rodriguez, an invite after his silver medal performance. All right, here we go. Winner will take on the winner of Pena Jimenez. Hansen will sit, very similar to their first meeting. Body lock pass this time, or body lock setup at least so far. Immediately Hansen trying to close the guard off. I like Rodriguez's approach to get immediately up and out of there. Being in the close guard of John Hansen, he's not a regular heavyweight. Neither of these guys are regular heavyweights.
Not at all.
They're, technical, incredibly athletic. Smart. Hansen favoring to the right side. Ooh, tried to come up on the head of Rodriguez. Both guys on the knees here. Hansen more aggressive than he was. He had a much more laid-back approach than last time he went against Nick. This time, more aggressive.
It's going to be hard.
Trying to come up on the leg. Follows, drives Nicky Rod out of bounds. Staying on. Nicky Rod pulls that leg free. Wow.
The cameraman part of the fight. That was awesome.
Hansen will remain seated here from where he started the position, or ended the position out of bounds. That was a really nice wrestle-up attempt, though, from Hansen. Nicky Rod trying to get to the body lock, but Hansen is aware, and he keeps trying to at least get to a guarded position.
Yeah, this is a good overhook play.
That was the move right there from Nick. So Nick, again, with this body lock stuff, he needs, heel to butt compression. He needs head center line. Now you see him trying to work that where he's trying to pin that right leg of Hansen. Hansen able to close the guard here.
Hansen doing a really good job defending that body lock pass so far.
Rodriguez up and out. Trying to get Hansen flat on his back here. Several attempts at getting to that body lock pass. Hansen does a good job of negating it, forcing Rodriguez back to his feet. Rodriguez from a distance here, trying to work his way around the guard. Back up to the feet here. Rodriguez circling off to the right. Hansen sits himself back up. Rodriguez trying to get closer here, trying to get to some kind of upper body control on Hansen. Hansen has done a good job of keeping his head and arms and body free from control of Nicky Rod. Playing off to the right hip here is Hansen.
Yeah, very impressive guard work so far by Hansen.
Hansen pretty much went through the East Coast trial just using his guard. He pretty much just sat and submitted everybody from his guard. Trying to move north-south here is Rodriguez. You see him trying to get his shoulder between the knees and hips
and you can
of
see
Hansen.
When Nicky Rod drops in, Hansen's not just defending the body lock pass. He's got grips that he's trying to get to so that he can stay offensive. So this is really interesting work here. There's the pass.
That's the positioning he wanted, and he gets through here. Now if Hansen comes up to the back, you see that right claw, that right hand where it's trying to claw through.
Yeah, he's going to fly around that
arm. The moment that Hansen comes up onto his left shoulder, Rodriguez is going to hop over his back so quickly. That left hand frame by Hansen, again, I don't think Nick really cares about that. I think he wants him to try to bridge in so that he can make his move to the back. Just over a minute to points here.
Hansen doing a good job of staying disciplined now that he's already made the mistake here. He's not trying to make it any worse.
And that's the key. Don't let this get any worse. Here's the dilemma he's in. For him to guard, he's got to come up to the shoulder. Nick wants him to come up to the shoulder.
Yeah.
So there's an incredible dilemma for Hansen from the bottom position here because he's aware of that. He knows that Nick is trying to track to his back. So the biggest thing that he has to do is figure out how to not let him get there.
Yeah. How do I get my back off the mat without letting Nicky see it?
Almost.
And I like this for Nicky. He's going back to the body lock.
Yep. And he can use this to knee on belly and slide to mount. It's something we've seen him doing even in training. All right, and points are in. Hansen framing off the hip here. Rodriguez able to pass the guard off a body lock.
Hansen trying to feed himself into an empty half guard.
There it is.
And
he was waiting for that turn away. Now here's where Nick's very good at keeping you here. He's very good at not allowing. Oh, good job by Hansen.
That was excellent.
And Nicky Rod immediately gets back to it. Single hook almost in. Knee is in. You see him cross gripped over to that far. So he's double unders now. Rodriguez trying to throw that first hook in. Hansen, tight turtle. Tight turtle. You see him trying to break him down to one hip. He'll try to break him down to one hip to throw the far one in, or even slip the bottom one in.
During the turn.
4 minutes to go here. Bottom position for Pedigo Submission Fighting's John Hansen. B team's Nick Rodriguez. On top, trying to find a way to the back here. Again, Hansen's gonna play this incredibly tight. He understands the dangers of leaving his neck exposed, even momentarily, and leaving a hip open momentarily. That's all he needs. There's that claw. He tries to bring that far side. Hansen immediately addresses it. Folds him to the hip. Good job of Hansen of blocking that.
Spiral.
Yeah, like spiral ride in jiu-jitsu, right? Or in wrestling. Now, I even wonder if Nick threw a hard threat just to get his hands
just to
come
create
up.
some movement.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Just to get his hands up. Just one quick threat to make Hansen's hands move. And look what it's done. It's already allowed him to kind of pull the hips back. Tries to roll through, gets himself back to guard.
And he cannot let Nicky get into this body lock. The hands locked around the body is just absolutely a no-go.
Oh, and there it is. Finds his way around to the back again. No control or anything just yet. Gets a hook in this time. Hansen trying to fight that secondary one. He's going to have to watch that threat. Oh, Rodriguez is under. Rodriguez right hand is under.
He's going to take
a run
at it right here.
We have a similar situation here as the first fight. Hansen trying to fight that secondary arm off. Oh, this is tight. Hansen is going to tap, and Nick Rodriguez moves on to day 2. B team's Nick Rodriguez will move on to day 2 for the second time in as many tries. Nick Rodriguez.
Incredible work.
Your winner by rear naked choke in regulation. So who won the Pena-Max Jimenez match?
Pena.
So it is going to be Pena and Rodriguez, Gordon and Roosevelt Souza.
Hands out to the fans, very confident coming in. Day 2, Chase. Day 2.
Let's jump in on mat number 3. We have Felipe Pena versus Nicky Rod. The winner of which will make a finals berth here. Let's go.
And remember, guys, you can follow along on FloGrappling.com in the multi-mat technology. Gordon Ryan pulling right under the leg.
Oh, going straight for a heel hook.
Immediately gets the tap. 11 seconds for Gordon Ryan. Punches his ticket to the finals immediately here. Wow. And that is a statement, ladies and gentlemen. Gordon Ryan finds himself in the finals once again. Who needs coffee, Chase?
Gordon Ryan's finally like he's got somewhere to be.
Looking to get back to the finals. Gold medalist in the absolute division in 2017.
What an
atmosphere. All right, we are underway. Pena's going to sit immediately. Now, we know where Nick wants to go, right? We know he wants to try to get the body lock, but again, Philippe's going to be incredibly aware of that. Just an update. It looks like Gordon Ryan will move to the finals on that one. Nick got to the body lock here, and you see Pena really forcing the head positioning away. And Nicky Rod does the right thing in releasing. A big part of this body lock passing, this place is wild already. A big part of the body lock passing is going to be Nicky Rod's head positioning and his ability to compress the heels to the butt, okay? Yeah. So when you see Pena focusing on moving Nick's head out of the way, it's going to be critical for Nick that he either keeps head on position or releases and moves to a position of standing where he can now start to work different passes.
And Pena's going to try to work him into that 50-50, what he calls the brick trap or the bear trap. I call it the ham sandwich. We're going to see a lot of that game on the outside if Nicky can't lock his hands together. And those are going to be paths
and you saw that
into
in the,
the back
or
for Pena.
In the Gordon match with that bear trap you're talking about. And again, Pena is super aware, and Pena's guard is incredibly dangerous, and he's super aware of the body lock passing of Rodriguez. So this first 5 minutes is going to be really interesting, and I'll be interested to see how they are with the warnings and calls for action today. Single butterfly here. Pena able to get an underhook.
And he may switch off to the shoulder crunch here. He is. Oh, okay.
Rodriguez did a good job of immediately pummeling his hand to his chest so that it wasn't wasn't trapped in there. But again,
that's going to be a position that Nicky Rod's so familiar with. When you play a lot of body lock passing, you're going to see a lot of underhook, shoulder crunch style game that comes up from the other guys. It's going to be it's something you're going to have to be aware of. So, excellent movement and awareness from Nicky Rodriguez.
You see Pena from the bottom saying, come forward now.
Well, Nicky's going to have to be careful, or the referee's going to start telling him to come forward.
For sure. Now, so it's got to be both, though. Like, you can't just sit on your back and think things can happen, too. So I would think both of them are going to get called for something, unless Philippe would sit up and start trying to pull Nick forward, or Nick starts cutting forward.
Yeah, he's starting to step forward, and I saw him give him a little admonishment there verbally.
You see Pena. As soon as Nicky Rod hits the knees, you see Pena immediately fall off to his right side here. Nicky Rodriguez, silver medalist in 2019. Again, Pena, gold medalist in the Absolute in 2017.
Right here. Who can impose their will from this mid-range position? Who's going to be able to get into the body lock, or who's going to be able to get into the game that they need to play? It's all about that from that position.
Pena keeping very extended. You see, Pena understands that it's critical for the body lock passing for Nick to have that heel to butt compression, right? So he's doing a very good job of keeping his legs extended, right? So that's where I really feel like Nicky Rod should start bringing the legs up, looking for stacking, forcing him to pull his knees to his chest, then start to look for entries into the body lock. If it's something you're going to try to move to, you know what I mean? I think with Pena, it's going to be hard to flank to the outside of him.
Yeah, he doesn't mind you going.
I mean?
He doesn't mind you coming up the middle.
Yeah, Toriundos and stuff are going to be difficult with Pena, but you can definitely use that stuff to start tiring him, you know, making him have to go side to side. And you see him trying to go to half guard too. Even forcing half guard is a better situation for Rodriguez than any type of open guard from Pena. We are 1 minute away from points here. Winner will go on to face Gordon Ryan in the finals later today. See him still controlling here. I'll be honest with you, I'm actually kind of surprised that no even calls for action have come yet. And now they haven't stopped moving, they haven't stopped circling, nobody's really backing up, but it's been more circling than anything. Weave through.
He's communicating with the table now, the referee.
Yeah, and they immediately started moving. And you saw, again, Rodriguez trying to get in on the body lock, and did you notice what Philippe did? Immediately put 2 frames with his arms in front of his chest so that he could block the head. Again, if you want that body lock to work, if you find your head's drifting side to side, that's definitely going to make it a much less effective way to pass. That head needs to stay centered. Push down here, Rodriguez to the knees. We're 10 seconds away from points. Rodriguez on top.
We'll see a pace change from Nicky Rodriguez here at the 5-minute mark. Here it comes. Points are active. Neither fighter has a warning or a negative at this point, though.
Trying to stuff down.
Here
Look at this.
Nicky getting his hands
Look at
together.
his force to half quickly here, B-Mac. I'll be honest with you, it looked like he was having a hard time flattening him out, and then almost immediately, all right, now Pena frames, goes there. Now listen, with the, okay, frames out, push away. Because this is the thing with the body lock. Like, people know traditional body locks, but there's, you know, there's side body locks. Like, there's different ways to move about it and apply it.
And now look at this, Nicky changing the range, getting in closer, and here comes that shoulder crunch.
Yeah, went for that razor arm there. Oh, and that allowed him. Now listen, he can also still do it with an arm in. He just has to time it so that he connects his hands with Felipe's over Felipe's arm before his hands connect. If Felipe's hands connect, then he can use it to, you know what I mean, to stretch.
Yeah,
and what that's inevitably doing, B-Mac, is it's pulling the head across the body. It's moving the head.
If you can connect the body lock over in a way that traps the opponent's elbow, then you can still continue to pass with that body lock. But if their elbow isn't trapped inside, they're going to have opportunities to either pull their arm out
Better
or
positioning here.
Get into the underhook.
So he's under both arms here. This is a good position here for
spot.
Rodriguez. Look at this.
This
and
is
he is over. He's going to score here, B-Mac. That is a solid pass from Rodriguez. Was able to keep his head on center. He's going to get his 3. big score here for Rodriguez in regulation with just over 3 minutes remaining.
And Pena struggling to regain his control. As he gets finally to his side, Nicky shifts around to the north-south. And he's going to force Pena back to the feet, and Pena accepts.
Pena has to stay up now. There's no sitting.
Listen, he's in danger of getting scored on again right here.
Now
if Nicky Rod can pull off a 2-point score here, he's going to be way out in front.
Here's the thing, too, is Nicky Rod has to keep the pace up, too. Like, they're going to look at it as he's up by 3, you know what I mean? So he can't slow down either. He definitely has to still keep the pace up. I feel like Nick would have the advantage here, but listen, Philippe is no slouch from the feet. You know, he's definitely got to watch out because, and you still have to watch out for a 4-point move. I think Nicky Rod is going to be incredibly hard to put to the mat, hold him enough to score. But you do have to be aware that that's something like Barch.
I was going to say, until yesterday, I would have said there's no way that could happen. But the legend, JT Torres, had it happen to him yesterday with PJ Barch.
We're just over 2 minutes here. And I'll tell you, man, Rodriguez, his 2019, you know, he ends up with 3 refs decision and then the loss. Yeah, so they're telling him to keep up the pace. So okay, so Nick is the one who again got the call for action. And again, I'm going to tell you that's because he's up on points.
Yeah,
they don't want you to pull off the brakes or pull off the gas once you've scored. In ADCC rules, now you're supposed to be even more the aggressor. Nice little
there it is.
So in 2019, he goes with 3 refs decisions. Now, he scored no points, had no points scored on him other than the finals match. This one, what a change here now, the 2022, where he's won 6-0, has a submission, and now he's up 3-0 on former champion Felipe Pena. Minute and a half to go here. Rodriguez up 3-0. Pena's going to have to start level changing and trying to get Rodriguez to a position where he can score a second time.
Yeah, I just
like
don't
he's
feel
got to
a
score
sense
twice.
of urgency from Pena.
Yeah.
Like he's down 3-0 with a minute to go, and it's almost like he's resigned himself to the fact that this one's not going to go his way. There's no push forward. There's no, and the referee coming and letting him know right now.
So Nicky's going to get a second
warn Nicky.
action. Again, I get the booze, but yeah, a minute left here. You have to understand that Nick has to also move forward. Like he can't, again, hit the brakes because he's won or because he's up on points. 40.
But from a strategic standpoint,
yes,
though,
he still can. Yes,
because he can take a negative.
He can
take another negative.
No, he can't, because then if there's a takedown, then he. Look at Philippe's trying.
But
he
has no fear. He's got more fear of the
so Nick
warning
does.
than he does
Nick
the
did
takedown.
get it. Nick did get a penalty, and now Pena's going to get a penalty to answer back.
Yep.
So Nick
but what
did
else
get a
could
penalty
he do?
for the. For not moving forward. Pena jumped guard, now back to the feet. So Nick still up 3-0 here. And he is going to, I mean, we got 15 seconds left. It would have to be a miracle from Pena. Nick Rodriguez, in as many chances, is moving on to the ADCC plus 99 championships. They're booing, he called time. I think there's 10 seconds left. Up 3-0. Oh, 20 seconds. Oh no, okay, they're running it down to 10.
11. They wanted to make sure there was 11 seconds exactly on the clock.
So we're gonna get it, man. We're gonna get Rodriguez
Listen
Ryan.
to this crowd.
Wow!
Listen to this crowd for Nicky Rodriguez.
Nick Rodriguez out of the B team. Your winner, 3-0, and is going to move on to the plus 99, championship to face Gordon Ryan. Wow.
And this sets up maybe one of the most epic storylines.
Anticipated matches ever.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your 99-kilogram gold medal match! from the United States of America, Nicky Rodriguez.
There is Nicky Rodriguez, one of our finalists in the over 99-kilogram division. Former teammate of Gordon Ryan, representing the B team out of Austin, Texas. Defeated
From
another
the
rival
United
of
States
Gordon
of
Ryan.
America, Gordon Ryan.
Speaking of Gordon Ryan, there he is in the gray hoodie, playing to the fans. He has made quick work of his opponents. Went the distance against Victor Hugo in the quarterfinal. Quick submission in the round of 16, quick submission today in the semifinal. I think he won in around 12 seconds with an outside heel hook. Doing a great job in his division and in conserving his energy heading into this final and into ultimately his super fight later today, or later tonight, I should say. He's been confident all week. Many consider him the greatest grappler on the planet right now. We'll find out against Andre Galvao if that is true.
Now, fighting out of the blue corner from Austin, Texas, by way of Clayton, New Jersey, representing the B team, the 2019 ADCC silver medalist, the Black Belt Slayer, Nicky Rodriguez. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner from Austin, Texas, by way of Monroe, New Jersey, representing New Wave, the three-time ADCC champion, the King, Gordon Ryan.
It doesn't get much better than Bruce Buffer announcing you before you compete. Let's throw it down to the commentators on mat 2.
All right, we are live from the 2022 ADCC World Championship. Ricardo Amendolia joined by Mr. Sean Williams, and the voice of FloGrappling, Mr. Chase Smith, is joining us for these special ADCC finals. Chase, how you feeling tonight?
Man, what an honor to be here. Amazing scene unfolding before us, and they've jumped right into things. Sean, what's going on out there?
Yeah, right now I think Gordon's just going to go underneath. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes under the legs, try to rather quickly, although this could be a rather good time for him to draw this out. Gordon, the best thing he does, one of the best things he does is just keep this consistent, steady pressure. Not super fast, not super slow, but it's consistent, and it's like a metronome, and it slowly wears you down. So Nicky's going to have to do a good job of staying on the inside, keeping his legs free, and then picking his time when he can maybe pass.
We saw them open up. Nicky Rod looks like he got a trip takedown, real flash takedown. I just blinked and I missed it, but already Nicky Rod stalking Gordon Ryan from the top position. I like that metronome comment there, Sean Williams. I got to get the definition of that one later on, but lots of stuff going, a lot of intricacies here, you know. And this is not only a match that's going to determine the new champion of the 99 kilogram plus division here at ADCC, but this is a match between two former teammates. And, you know, there's been a little bit of heat, you know, in the air with these two, and it'll be very interesting to see how this unfolds. They spent a lot of time training together, but it's been about 2 years since they've ever trained or rolled or competed. So let's see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I think Gordon was happy to accept that takedown in a way. You know, that negates any possibility of a penalty point or negative point being assigned. He can play from bottom here and kind of warm up at his own speed.
Exactly.
And especially in the finals, where a negative is for the duration of the entire match. And Gordon already attacking the leg of Nick Rodriguez. He's got a nice little bite there. Sean Williams, talk us through it.
Yeah, he's trying to get a side-on knee pressure. Then he's tucking the elbow in. He's nearly has heel exposure here. Now he does. He's got heel exposure.
And Gordon Ryan just submitted Nick Rodriguez and has become a three-time ADCC champion. Sorry, 3 different weight classes has Gordon Ryan, the king,